UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Hello and welcome back from Sports Updates with Ruben Impima Kasera Chivirango, the tall man with short brothers. And I always ask, but Ruben, I think we need to do a DNA. How come the rest are short and you're tall? That is something we must investigate. But for records, I don't have any young new girlfriend. It is only my soul, one beloved partner that designs me every morning. You know, I don't want to go back home and I find that gate locked until I produce evidence. Ruben, remember that president who had to bring the wife and say, if there is any other, come out or never. And he confessed not having a second wife, a whole head of states. I don't want to be put in a fix in that situation. Otherwise, thank you so much, our viewer, for being with us. It is a morning show and it has a bit of humor, and of course, we are very focused to ensure that we inform you of what you need to know locally, internationally, but also spice up your mornings. You never know how dark the night could have been. Now, again, I'm here, and this time around, we are going to be looking at the use of internet in economic development. Now, we all are aware of the internet because there has been quite a lot of transformation. Those days, one had to go to an internet cafe. Today, just with the comfort of your mobile phone, smartphone, you can go to the internet. You can access the internet and do whatever you want to do. I don't know if those internet cafes are still around. Remember when I was on Martin Road and they were everywhere. I don't know if that business is still working out. Technology fades very fast, but anyway, I have an expert with whom we are going to be discussing this, and this is the founder and advisor of Internet Society Uganda chapter, Lilian Naroga, if I'll pronounce it right. Naroga, you're most welcome.
Thank you so much.
Good morning.
Good morning to you too.
I'm excited to know more about the internet and if we are using it actually as a country for economic or national development. Let's begin. When we talk about the internet, many people know you buy your bundles, you have your Wi-Fi, you have your data, then go to this gadget and there you are. But in simple terms, when we talk about the internet, if you could break it in simple terms for our viewer or to get in right position with them, what are we referring to?
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It gives me pleasure to be here to talk to you. But you see, when you talk about the internet, there's a bit of a misconception that we usually get when people think about the internet. The internet, let's take it as that digital road that, you know, everyone has to have access to it, but there also has to be some rules that, you know, govern this road. So today when we talk about the internet, it is something that is passing. No one knows where the internet is. No one definitely knows, but to me, the internet is a digital resource. You know, it is a connection, it is in numbers. It has different connection points, you know. We have fiber that, you know, whatever electricity, when we talk about fiber, we have domain names. You know, today you see ubc.ug, you know, that is a country domain name. We have the .coms. We have different addresses. There are numbers that connect for us to be able to get the text that we finally see when you go and search www.ubc and you get your search Naroga, you get information about Naroga. But in simpler terms, to me, is the internet is that resource that helps us connect digitally without me having to call or walk or pay, jump in a car on a border to be there.
Or a plane.
all on a plane.
Train or ship
or a ship or anything.
Because has made the world now one village.
Yes.
It's a global village.
Yes.
Sitting here, I can speak to my cousin far away in the US, and in just a twinkle of an eye is replying. So it connects you everywhere.
Yes, it does connect us everywhere. And right now, I'm sure you have live streaming. So we have people who are not even seated, who are people who are just on their laptops, and they are watching the show. So internet is that made available for everyone, accessible without so much stringent, controls or anything that hinders that. Take, for example, we have the public roads, but there are rules that govern. You cannot come, you cannot overspeed, you cannot, overtake. There are some boundaries to that. So when we take it to the digital world, the internet operates like that.
Wonderful. And I'm sure now you're with us understanding what this thing we are focusing on, which is internet for economic development. First, when we talk about using the internet for economic development, you're a founder and advisor at the Internet Society of Uganda. That means you've done some research, I'm hoping so, regarding the usage of internet in Uganda. Let's come back home. With internet, first, are we using the internet for the right cause in Uganda? Are we partaking of the opportunities it is giving us? Because remember, opportunities come to those that are prepared.
Yes, I think we are using internet for the right cause. I mean, when you look at internet, things, what is supposed to provide to us to make connection, At the Internet Society, we have a saying that the internet is for everyone. So when we say internet is for everyone, whether you're calling a loved ones, connecting, after here, probably you go on your phone and check your WhatsApp or check, your socials and that. That is the connection.
After waking up, the first thing, not even prayer, you check your phone.
You check your phone. So that is the connection that the internet gives us. To makes it easier to communicate, engage, have, those lasting connections with loved ones and even make new connections. Hence, that's why we have social media, the likes of TikToks and all that. But also, the internet is for economic gain. We have, for instance, people who are in business, the internet service providers. They provide to you internet at a cost. That is a business. But away from that, we also have people who are doing business online, via the internet, that without the internet, this person would not have been able to launch their product. They are selling their stuff online. And that is the digital economy. There's quite a lot that people are doing that. And when it comes to, say, service provision, right now, I think the government of Uganda last year in August launched a digital transformation roadmap or strategy. It's a 5-year plan, and this is supposed to guide, our country in how to use and benefit from the digital world. And to that is providing services to the people, e-services. Today, I don't need to walk into, wake up and start running around. I want to go to Ministry X to seek certain information. The information is readily available on their website. There's a phone that I've seen that I can call, and this is service provision. Today, there are services like, say, for instance, if I have to pay taxes, URA, everything has been digitized. When you look at the Uganda Registration Bureau, the services they provide, registering businesses, certifying documents, I do that at the comfort of my home, of my office, or wherever I am. It could be in a restaurant, it could be in a bar, it could be in a taxi, anywhere. So that is what the internet provides, that it makes ease to live and do things the way that you would not have dreamt of doing that. So on the public sector side, making ease of using e-services, e-service provision, that is what the internet. And in the course, there's a streamlining of things where, I'll give an example of URSB because I find it quite effective. Back in the days, you would have to go to offices, get a middleman to, or get a lawyer to draft your resolution. Then they help you go filing it. Then there are those lines, you have to go to the bank. But right now, everything is digitized. And in the course, URSB is making service easier, and it's also streamlining collection of of taxes. Same thing would be for URA, I think, because it was the first, government agency to streamline digital tax collection. And to me, that's the beauty of the internet. But also, if we look at the creative industry, these artists, they have made a lot of money off the internet. Today, someone will come to a studio like this, create a studio somewhere in their house, launch a video, and put it on Spotify. The money starts coming through. They don't have to go for a Chivulu, launch somewhere. The money starts coming through digitally, through that. The other aspect also you could look at is how people are making money off YouTube, making some video, and all of a sudden money is coming through. We have, I think, there's this, the Ann Kansime, the comedian. I was trying to find another word for comedian. The comedian. I mean, she got a YouTube badge, and she got hugely paid off YouTube because of her comics and all that. So for me, I think when it comes to the internet, it creates opportunities that we never saw 30 years ago, 50 years ago. It has made it easier for us to live and be able to communicate and.
Well, no doubt, it is a forest of opportunities if we use the internet very well. But you mentioned something very important, that this is a public road. Now, when something is public, despite the rules, I want to look at first affordability. When you look at how much people have to pay for internet, and when you look at the fact that also affordability comes with accessibility. There are places you will go to and you just can't access the internet. Yeah. But also, leave alone those that are on Wi-Fi, people who buy data, daily bundles and all that, the cost of internet within East African region, when it comes to Uganda, you may cough a bit, but because this has almost become like our daily Quran or Bible, if you're off net, you're almost, to a number of people today, if you're not online, life is different. Whether you're using it for the right causes or not the right causes, still it's something that has come to stay and live with us.
Yeah, you're so right when you put it like that. The cost of the internet in Uganda, within East Africa, the costs in Uganda are the highest.
Yes.
One would argue that we are a landlocked country, our cables have to pass through Kenya or Tanzania, but nonetheless, Rwanda is also a landlocked country. But the cost of internet, is a bit low, is a bit down compared to Uganda. And the one thing that we keep talking about, there's just like you said, access, cost is one thing, and then accessibility is another. There are two things here. So we need to ensure that, just as we've said, it's a public good, but then there are also some regulations, there are things that are governing the use of this public good. So we look at, when it comes to access, who is responsible for bringing this access? So you look at government, they have to make sure that we have the proper regulations or legislations, frameworks that make it, competitive. And Uganda's ICT industry or telecommunications sector is quite competitive. But what happens when these players come here? That is where now we start looking. So the thing and that is contributing to the high cost of internet in Uganda is about taxation. The digital tax that is currently running, we have a 12%. You have, just imagine you buy a bundle, it comes with a VAT, it comes with an excise duty. On top of that, there's also an internet tax. When you put all that and you give this to the service provider, remember it's a business, they have to make a profit, so they have to see how to balance this off. At the end of the day, who is suffering?
The final consumer.
The final consumer. And for me, I think the appeal that there has to be a way that we can sit and try to assess this issue. Back in the days, or about 5 years ago, when we had this so-called social media tax, it was supposed to help, in raising, taxation, but we also how, the figures were not matching. I think this tax, the internet tax, which came in effect last year, is a little bit fairly new, that we need to go back and try to assess, is it bringing the necessary tax? If not, then what is the issue? But also, the other thing that I would like to probably put out there is to try to avoid overly taxing. Because, at the end of the day, we are going to drive off the many people who want to connect. If we are talking about transformation, if we are trying to connect to the underserved, bridge the digital divide. Today, people, you find that today they are connected. This month, you have so many, connections coming in. In the next month, they have dropped. So those kind of irregularities is, for us as the Internet Society, is what we would like to put out to the state, the regulator, to put out to the service providers, is to be able to monitor those drops and try to find a solution that can ensure that once people are connected, they stay connected, they benefit from the internet, and be able to utilize it the way it should be utilized. Because, we live in it's a global village, like you said. We are connected today. Right now, I don't need to fly 1,000 miles to the US, for instance, if I need to attend a conference. There's Zoom, there's, these other, streaming services that I can just be able to log in. But just imagine now, this is a privilege at times, At times we say the internet is still a privilege to us who are, who can afford. But if you go further out of town, you find that people will just be buying bundle after bundle just to stay hooked to that, WhatsApp or social media. But after that, they'll drop. And is this meaningful access?
You've just reminded me, during the days of COVID-19, when we had schools closed, some universities carried on lessons or lectures, and you had to buy the bundles for you to follow. Now, at some time, I remember you had to go as far as 20,000 a day. And if you looked at 20,000 a month, how much was that you had to be spending? It was really a bit hectic. But I'm happy that government is moving in to ensure, first, they extend the bandwidth. There's so much happening there, fellow Ugandans. But also the cost of internet, I think this is something that has been raised over and over, and I believe the initiatives aimed at seeing how best we can lower that. Now, we'll be going for a short break now. When we return, we want to look at the legislation when it comes to use of internet. Many a times, we've seen people abusing the internet. We've seen people put down by the internet. People's businesses destroyed by misuse of this internet. Let's look at that shortly after this break.
A new dawn on Behind the Headlines with me, Timothy Nyangweso, every Wednesday live in our studios in the heart of Kampala. We have conversations that have analysis, explanation, but not every truth is fact and not every fact is truth. Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. on your public broadcaster.
Broadcaster, UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Junko.
Yo.
Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, it is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving.
Junko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. We want you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief, and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government, designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Nyati Motion Pictures brings you Tuko Pamoja, Kingdoms of Mountain Rwenzori segment. What are the dynamics of the peoples occupying the foothills of the famous mountains of the moon? What brings them together?
One way of identifying ourselves would be the Rwenzori Mountain,
where the God happy dwells.
In Uganda, we are called Vakonjo, Vakonzo, Vaira. In Congo, we are called Vanande.
The Basongora community is a very old community here, Western Uganda and Eastern Congo.
So both Kasese, Toro, were part of Nyoro Kitara Kingdom.
We are similar people.
we are one. Use that word, pamoja.
It will be showing in Nibundubugyo at Anders Hotel on Friday 16th August and Kasese at Uhuru Plus Hotel on Saturday 17th August 2024, starting at 4:30 p.m. To get a ticket, call 0778 787 660. Tuko Pamoja?
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Welcome back, and thank you so much for being with us on UBC TV. It is the Extra, and we are discussing internet for economic development in our country. Well, this is an opportunity. It is all about connectivity. It is all about finding information that maybe you wouldn't have easily found. Many people, I remember the term, I don't know, but it became very popular. Ask Mr. Google. You know that anything you don't know, go to Google, go to YouTube. Some of us have even treated animals. I'm a dog breeder, but some of the things where I used to have veterinary doctors superior to me come and treat, now it's simple. Just a click, then they'll even prescribe, tell you where even to find in Uganda and all that. So there is information, there are job opportunities. Well, there's so much you can talk about the internet. But my guest earlier talked about issues of legislation, that even if you're driving on a road, yes, there are traffic officers, and you have the Road Safety Act to get you there. Now let's go to this internet, per se in Uganda, where many people believe, yes, we have the laws in place, the computer misuse. We can mention about 3 or 4 of them that ensure that they guide content. I think they specifically look at content. Unfortunately, these have also not done us so much justice. I think for me, the recent case and the historical case, I must say, where I've seen someone go to arrested, taken to court, sentenced. I think it was this young man who, out of, I can't even understand, went and attacked the person, the president, and said a lot of stupid things. But many people, it has been, yes, you go to court, it's seemingly very light to say. Now let's look at that bit.
Thank you so much, Mr. Cherabo. I think, to me, there's a misconception about the internet. When I think that the legislation of the Computer Misuse Act just speaks to that misuse, you know? Just the way, like, remember when we said that the internet, let's look at it as a public good, a digital public good. But now, when we go to the actual road itself, you have the Road Safety Act, you know, no overspeeding, no doing this, you know, no overtaking, those kind of rules. These rules should also apply. There's a line, and the issues when it comes to, say, rights like, say, freedom of expression, or data protection and privacy, or access to information. All these things are provided for, you know, in the legislation, in the digital policies, in the digital legislation. But it comes back now to what are we putting to the internet? I usually give an example that just the same way you see you cannot go and start undressing on the road. You know, you go to the express or even just walking out of here and going to the roundabout there, and you start undressing. People will look at you, oh, you're mad. Oh, someone will be quick to cover you, you know, because this is a public space. And that is what the internet is. It's a public space. It gives us, it enables us to move from point X to point Y. If I'm doing business, it's enabling me to connect to the bank, to make, you know, that payment, to connect to customers. So I should not be misusing it. The other thing about, I think you mentioned about the issue of, say, freedom of expression. Freedom of expression also has a bit of limits, you know. You don't wake up and start slandering someone without basis, and you think you'll go away with it, because the Constitution provides for it, but there's also a boundary. There's something that gives and takes, that, you know, your expression ends where mine starts. And what I've seen is people, especially young people, have a bit of misconception about the internet. Whereas it's providing them opportunities to connect and all that, but there's also the thing of just posting everything they wish without thinking through. You know, the laws are there. The Computer Misuse Act, you know, hacking, accessing, you know, I'm not a journalist, but I know that defamation law was, you know, taken away. But online, there are things that you can say and they may lead you into trouble. So at times we talk about responsible use of the internet. For us to be able to appreciate this digital good, we need to be responsible in terms of what are we posting, who is the intended consumer. If it is just about gossip, there are many people who have lived off gossip on the internet. You know, we are in the era of fake news, misinformation, but there are also laws that are supposed to help us, you know, curtail that, you know, that particular vice. So for me, we talk about responsible use, we all have a role to play. The government will come up with a legislation and say, this is what we are going to do with it. Implementation of it is a conversation for another day. But for us as users of the internet, as consumers of the internet, we need to know our boundaries. Today, especially at times when we have engagements with young people, you know, people go, they record themselves doing all sorts of ridiculous things on the internet. The internet does not forget. It's the same thing. You go outside, undress, and then the next day you come back, they'll still remember you. That is the lady who was there. It's the same thing with the internet. It does not forget. And today when you post something, you're not just posting in Uganda. It is going to go viral, you know. The way information spreads is like wildfire. In fact, even wildfire may not be that fast enough. So for me, my key message when it comes to internet, let us respect the internet. Let us respect what we post, because the internet does not forget. Today, I've seen so many people lose jobs or even lose opportunities just because they posted something stupid. And for the young people who are looking for jobs today, they posted something or posted a nude or, you know, some ridiculous thing. Job search, someone is going to do a background check. Guess what they are going to land on? Something you probably even may have forgotten just because you think it is a free tool, it's a free, you can just come, do anything that you want, and no one is going to, you know, be able to remember. And that thing comes to bite you 10 years later. So for me, to our viewers, I would like to put out a message that when it comes to using the internet, we need to be responsible. We need to be responsible. When it comes to security, we need to be mindful of who we are letting into our accounts, who we are letting into our lives on the internet. It is more of when you go home, you put a padlock, you lock. Why do you lock? Even within your house, there are certain people who are limiting access to your bedroom, you have access to certain areas of your house. So why is it that when you go online, you know, you choose to open up all these things thinking that, you know, this is something that, you know, will not come back to bite. So we need to be responsible. Different actors have to play their role. Government has to ensure that the policies that are in place are properly implemented. We have the players like ourselves who are into, you know, researching, awareness and engagement. We put the key message out there. But also have people who are into, like, say, providing, like, say, the law enforcement. They need to have the capability to be able to investigate these cases, because some of these cases even go unmentioned or uncovered. A case today is, you hear a case and then all of a sudden, we don't know what happened to the victim. So that would be my key message on responsible use of the internet.
Well, I'm very passionate when it comes to responsible use of the internet, because the internet can't destroy your future or destroy a life of another person. Because whatever you do on the internet, it goes viral. But also sometimes these moments of excitement come to an end, but the life continues. And you live with them forever and ever. And of late we have a challenge where the views, the likes matter so much, and the X generation is tempted to do whatever it takes to have those likes, to have those following. But remember, sometime the reason why you needed them may go away, but your life may stay. Well, we must get out of here and leave space for more programming. But before we do that, let me just have your last word to the viewer.
Thank you. My last word is we need to continuously have engagements. As the Internet Society Uganda, we provide these dialogues. Just earlier this month, we had the Uganda Internet Governance Forum, where we bring different stakeholders to talk about issues of how digital meets practice, what are different players doing, how can we have, solutions that matter for the internet. Next month, we are hosting a regional meeting, the East Africa Internet Governance Forum, where we will bring different stakeholders from within the region, from EAC, to see how we can harmonize our policies, because like we said, the internet is borderless. So we provide these platforms, these engagements, and bring together people to talk, share experiences. As a regional bloc, how can we curtail, how can we address issues of, say, crime, crime online? If someone commits a crime here in Uganda and runs to Tanzania, can they be arrested? So we provide platform for these conversations. And for me, to the viewers, let us be responsible on the internet, because the internet is for everyone, not just for a few.
Thank you so much, Lydian Naroga, the founder and advisor of Internet Society of Uganda chapter. Very interesting there. We've been looking at the internet for economic development. So wherever you get there, whatever you're posting, is it useful? Is it harmful? Is it beneficial to the nation? Because we must use this road of connectivity to ensure that we better ourselves, but also we promote growth of our country through the internet. I love the medical field. They are doing so many discoveries and breakthroughs using the internet. The ministry also for innovation there, they are doing so much using internet. And you watching us, what are you doing with the internet? Is it productive or is it counterproductive? Remember, what you post, the internet doesn't forget. Why not end here and wish you a blessed day? May God bless Uganda. See you tomorrow.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Pick of the day on UBC.
Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. on your public broadcaster.
Was brought to you by.
I'll call you every day, yeah, yo, baby, don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000. Or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily, or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Juko.
Yo.
Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. But what you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
A new dawn on Behind the Headlines with me, Timothy Nyangweso. Every Wednesday, live in our studios in the heart of Kampala. We have conversations that have analysis, explanation, but not every truth is fact, and not every fact is truth. Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. on your public broadcaster.
All on your public broadcaster. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Nyati Motion Pictures brings you Tuko Pamoja, Kingdoms of Mountain Rwenzori segment. What are the dynamics of the peoples occupying the foothills of the famous mountains of the moon? What brings them together?
One way of identifying ourselves would be the Rwenzori Mountain,
where the God happy dwells.
In Uganda, we are called Bakonjo, Bakonzo, Baira. In Congo, we are called Banande.
The Basongora community is a very old community here, Western Uganda and Eastern Congo.
So both Kasese, Toro were part of Nyoro Kitara Kingdom.
We are similar people. We are one. Use that word pamoja.
It will be showing in Nibundubugyo at Anders Hotel on Friday 16th August and Kasese at Uhuru Plus Hotel on Saturday 17th August 2024, starting at 4:30 p.m. To get a ticket, call 0778-787-660. Tuko pamoja?
Shocking statistics on road crashes in Uganda show that there were over 23,608 road accidents in a single year, 2023. This highlights an increase of 16% compared to the previous year. The Uganda Traffic and Road Safety Report of 2023 also shows that there were 24,728 casualties from road crashes, with 4,806 people dead, 16,736 seriously injured, and 3,186 escaping with minor injuries. The rampant increase in the number of road crashes and casualties in Uganda is seriously alarming. According to Uganda Police Traffic Report, 80% of road crashes in Uganda are as a result of speeding, reckless driving, and violation of traffic rules and regulations. Your life and that of other road users matters. Every life taken or injured in a road crash is an emotional loss to a family, resource loss to a business, development contribution loss to a community, and a socio-economic loss to the nation. Join hands together to reduce and, if possible, eliminate road crashes from our roads by avoiding reckless driving, obeying traffic signs and rules, and maintaining public safety intelligence to keep ourselves, passengers and other road users safe at every time. Remember, drive safe today to live again tomorrow. Tofira kukubo.
This week, join us on your favorite weekly program, Behind the Headlines, as we explore Kampala's evolution from its origins as Uganda's capital city in 1962 to its current status as a sprawling metropolis. Once built on 7 hills, Kampala has expanded significantly, reflecting the dynamic growth of urbanization. As the city continues to grow, strategic planning and responsibility become crucial. Tune in to discover how Kampala is managing its transformation and the challenges it faces on your favorite program, Behind the Headlines, only on your public broadcaster, UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Pick of the day on UBC.
Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. on your public broadcaster.
Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah yo, You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
This week on UBC.
We started proper school here in Kampala. And so I went to East Kololo Primary School for P1 and then